G'day there tankers, welcome to Taqtix episode number 4. This episode has a tier 8 heavy tank slugfest on Canal. I'd like to thank my clan Triari for help in recording games during count-ins. In this match we have the views of 3 separate tanks from one team. The team at the north spawn is shown on the left and has 4 tier 8 heavy tanks, 1 tier 8 T28 prototype and at tier 7 a tune of T29s. The team from the south spawn as shown on the right has an additional tier 8 gun with 1 tier 8 TD, 4 tier 8 heavies, a tier 8 Type 59 medium and a tier 7 Panther. The north rollout occurs on the road on the east side of the map. The south team's rollout is split with heavy tanks going into the industrial area and across the bridge, with the 2 mediums and 2 other heavies taking the southern route along the rails to the southeastern corner. The first contact for the north team is the Panther in the southeastern corner, who is overextended and is easily eliminated. Shortly after, the southern team's TD and Tiger 2 have made it across the bridge and are spotted, being the first meaningful contact of the game. The teams position slightly further forward to create the first engagement. The battle takes place in basically 2 main areas. The northern heavy tanks distribute into 2 groups of 3. A group at E6 facing south consists of the T29s and a T34. The group at D6 facing west consists of a Tiger 2, T34 and T32. The T28 prototype is at the rear of the rollout in cover. This northern area of the engagement is an exchange of fire across the ravine with the southern teams AT-15, Tiger 2 and KV-4. In the southeastern corner develops a classical hold down melee between the heavy tanks in that area. Early on in the battle, the Type 59 reconnoiters a new firing position between the 2 hills, but returns shortly after, presumably after being unable to get shots in on the heavy tanks. As the northern team starts to take control of damage exchange, T32 makes an aggressive move south into the F5 area to split red team in the southern part of the map. This very successfully provides rear and side shots for the T32, rapidly turning this corner engagement toward its endgame. This is a close-up of the engagement as seen in the mini-map view. Panther is eliminated. North heavies distribute into 2 groups of 3s. The Type 59 reconnoiters. The north team starts to win the fight across the canal. T32 moves in to split the reds. AT-15, Tiger 2 and KV-4 go down, and the green team moves in for the kill. The battle is recorded with 3 different views from the north team. These are all slow tanks, so I'm not going to force you to look at the whole rollout in real time. And just to add a little bit more confusion, the T-34s appear exactly the same, having the same camo pattern, so you have to pay attention to the subtitles. In general, a tank that's toward the north appears on the right hand side of split screens. The footage is arrayed in real time with the same game count from different tanks, except toward the end of the game there's a lot of simultaneous action, so the same segments of time are shown back to back from different vehicles' perspectives. When the Panther is spotted, the T29s and a T34 push down into the corner, while the prototype exchanges shots with a KV-4 that's pushed up next to the bridge, and the northernmost group of 3 heavy tanks sets up to exchange fire with the Tiger 2 and the AT-15. The Panther is eliminated. In the northernmost sector, the exchange of fire across the canal settles down into a reloading, repositioning, hard cover fight. The southern Type 59 has realised that his shots are not available in that centre area and so relocates back.
Our track is hit, it can break any minute!
Southern KV-4 pushes up and across the bridge, leaving himself open.
The armor is damaged.
The northern tanks in the southern area of the map start to make their move towards the corner and splitting the red forces in that area. And the damage sustained by the southern heavies in the middle of the map starts to take its toll, and they start to be picked off one by one. Switching focus now to the group at E6. One T-29 has snuck in behind the sawmill, and the North heavies focus fire the Type 59 who's moved up to engage, and he is eliminated, which only leaves two T-34s down in this region, and it becomes a hold down slugfest to the end of the game. Meanwhile, at the same time that the Type 59 went down, the prototype was lining up kill shot on the KV-4.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And with a score of 5-0, the North tanks move in to administer the last rites. So the battle ends up as a convincing 7-0 win, which is somewhat surprising given the southern team had an additional higher tier tank. One of the key differences appears to be that damage in the northern team is distributed fairly evenly across the whole team. In thinking about how it unfolded, it's actually not very obvious what went wrong for the southern team. While they may have split their rollout, they actually generated fairly effective crossfire positions across the map. It's almost as if the flaw in the game plan is something that's really difficult to spot in real time. It's not as though the rollout was at fault, but rather the timing of the rollout. Because of its speed, the Panther arrived without backup. As the Tier 8s pushed across the bridge, they did this in a manner that happened to be uncoordinated with the arrival of the Panther or with the follow-up T-34s behind them. In the same way the KV-4 appeared right when guns were ready pointed in his direction. It seemed as though the whole engagement unfolded in a way that just disadvantaged the southern team in terms of position and timing. So to hypothesize a way in which the southern team could have used their medium advantages to their best effect, one option would have been to place the Panther on the sniper hill at F3. This would have given him firing lane down into the southeastern corner, as well as to be able to provide pressure on the T-28 prototype at the north of the map. The other point to make was that this game was recorded when the cap circle was still in the D4 area of the Canal, and while not relevant to this particular match, now that the position of the flag has been moved, lineups like we saw in this match where one team had mediums and the other team had nothing but big fat slow heavy tanks, as Lothars aim to say it, a cap strategy becomes a very viable option. The way to do this is to set up all the large guns in a firing position in the northwest corner, have active spotters in the town or in the industrial zone in the D3 and B4 areas, and then have some tank move to the cap to get the counter going. The objective being to get the enemy team to react to the cap count, bringing their tanks within the range of the spotters and into the firing lines of those set up in ambush. Thank you for watching this episode of Blitz Tactics. Please like, share or comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's roll out. And remember, whatever you do, explode the potato, don't be the potato.